As a Russian who pretty much lived in Russia for his entire life and then left Russia a little bit over a year ago due to the entire political situation and the censorship going on, I've always found it really fascinating that there's Westerners out there who've been born in the first world democratic countries that end up simping for Russia and Putin and essentially saying that Russia is actually a more free country than America and the rest of the West. I've already talked about characters like this on the channel before. We've also reacted to a bunch of these Z-Westerners on this channel that basically make these propaganda videos saying that Russia is the greatest country with the greatest opportunity and the most freedom in the world. And usually these things are just said by people who live in a Moscow bubble where they live in the center of a huge European city and they essentially portray that the entirety of Russia is just like Moscow and that there's nothing really to complain about. And as a Russian who grew up in provincial Russia, the city of Chelyabinsk, I've always found all of this very ironic and hilarious. So in today's video, guys, I decided to react to even more Z-Westerners. Hello Blazers, it is your boy Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian. Hi guys, today welcome to a brand new video. And in today's video, guys, we're actually gonna be reacting to a video of foreigners who live in Russia currently, mostly Americans, essentially talking about their life in Russia and the positives and the negatives and the politics involved. Now this video right here actually comes from the channel 1420, which I'm sure you guys are probably aware of if you watch me as well. But the reason why I decided to pick this video in particular is because in this one, we're gonna hear some absolutely insane takes. And as a Russian, I love reacting to stuff like this, so let's get into it.
Hi, my name is Kanchana. I'm from Sri Lanka and I'm 26 years old.
Hello everybody, my name is Amos Ndukwe and I'm from the United States of America and I trade crypto and stocks and I run a online casino.
Okay, bro, just say you're a scammer. Like, you know, we don't need those extra words, you know? I mean, the reason why I'm hating on Amos is because he's gonna have some very questionable takes down the road in this video.
Yeah, so my name is Alexander Lee. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'm 24 years old.
Hello, my name is Jorge. I am 25 years old. I am from Ecuador.
Here's the thing, guys. Not every foreigner living in Russia in this video is actually like a terrible person from what I've gathered. A lot of the people here are just students that study in Russia and essentially they just say basic nice stuff about Russians, how, you know, Russian people are like very kind and helping when you get to know them or whatever. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Once again, as a Russian, I do appreciate that there's foreigners out there that know that, you know, there's a good side and that, you know, Russians are generally good people just like any other nation out there because there's no bad nations, there's only bad people. And a lot of them just enjoy living in Moscow because it's convenience, it's a nice modern city and everything. However, some people in this video have other things to say.
Well, I think there are a lot of reasons. I believe that the woke culture is spreading and it's a virus. And I believe that coming to Russia, you're able to, you know, stay away from that toxicity, that nonsense.
Woo! There we go. My favorite part, guys. Yes, so this is why I was hating on this guy Amos right at the start of the video. He's about to go gamer mode. What figures, guys? A guy who's like a digital nomad, crypto expat, who runs his own online casino and scams people, basically. By the way, that's officially illegal in Russia, just want to let you know, my guy. So this crypto expat is talking about how Russia is based because it doesn't have a new woke culture. Bro, are you like best friends with wealthy expat or something? That guy that was talking about how you need to move to Russia to escape the woke mob in the West or whatever. It's hilarious. You guys are like absolute NPCs.
You know, they say that, you know, America is the home of the free and the brave, but we're not able to think freely and have our own opinions in the sense that if you don't agree with what's going on with the woke community, then you could, you know, lose your job, lose your bank account, and get canceled and all these other things. And people feel like Russia's a safe space for them to be able to be themselves. Yeah,
fucking morons do that. I've already talked about this precisely in my Stop Analyzing Russia video. Imagine actually thinking that America is like a less free country than Russia, which is pretty much what he said, right? He said that in America you can't express your views, you get cancelled. And clearly this guy doesn't support the entire woke culture mob, so he moves to Russia because he is scared of gay and trans people. And in his opinion, the country that is currently in a military conflict, that is mobilizing its citizens, and that is having mutinies. And also, of course, I didn't even mention the fact that in Russia there's no freedom of speech. You go to prison for like 15 years for a comment online, or you get arrested on the street for standing with a blank piece of paper. In his opinion, this country is a freer and more open society than America. And the real reason is because he's not a Russian citizen. He doesn't know what it's like. He doesn't know the fear. Короче, блядь, не пуганный еще, если проще сказать. But I think, guys, there's actually a very huge chance that this might change.
I'm just, honestly, like I said, I'm treated better here. Like, I'm invited to more events. Like, I was at St. Petersburg Economic Forum last week. I was, you know...
Z. You're Z. Like, what do I have to say?
University in Russia for study of international relations I attended, and I'm graduating right now. So I just feel like I'm treated better here. and there's just more opportunity.
Yeah, because you're literally like you're literally a white monkey in Russia. You do realize that, right? Like how they have white monkeys in China, and they essentially want to please foreigners and create like a good environment for them, so then they go and then spread Russian propaganda. Congrats, bro. You live in a bubble, and your life is nothing like the lives of 140 million of other Russian people. I don't think you care though, and I think you're fully aware of that actually. But again, I'm hating on this guy because he's gonna say some crazy shit in this video.
Honestly, I think I'm treated better in Moscow than I am in the US. Like, I think as a straight white male, I think I'm treated better.
Guys. Interesting take, let's hear him out.
And it's kind of ironic because as an American citizen, I'm treated better here than I am there. And I think one of the reasons for that is because I think meritocracy is almost dead in America. I think affirmative action completely killed meritocracy.
My lord. Okay, you're anti-affirmative action. I mean, I get it, dude. You just don't want people who've been born in worse social circumstances, people who have been marginalized due to the color of their skin or sexuality and whatnot, right? You don't want these people to have the same chance at life and, you know, at studying at a university or whatever as you, because I guess maybe you believe these people are beneath you, you know, you're a straight white male, so you should be, you know, given preferential treatment in America. That is fucking insane, bro. How is this like so perfect every time? You know what I mean? Why are all these like red-pilled Americans who live in Russia, who like idolize Russia, why do all of them say the same thing?
But in Russia, I mean, meritocracy, it seems like it's alive and well. I mean, at the university, it seems like
Let's hear him out.
all my classmates are like super smart and super hardworking. So that's one of the things that I like about living in Russia. I'm just treated better here. It seems like. That's just my personal experience.
Alright, so claiming that Russia is like the last bastion of meritocracy in the world or whatever the fuck, that is insane. Yeah, Russia is a great meritocracy. For example, you know, we all know that Russia is actually being led, right, and governed by the smartest and most educated people. In Russia, of course, we all know that in order to, you know, sort of make your way up the political ranks, so, you know, to be anybody in politics, you can just, you know, be good at your job. You don't actually have to, like, plead allegiance to the party and to the special military operation and to the president. You don't have to wear a Z on your jackets. You don't have to do that because Russia is a free country with, you know, that has the free marketplace of ideas. And in Russia, you know, yeah, if you want to become a politician, just be popular and have people interested in you. That is why we all know that Alexei Navalny is the president of Russia right now, right? Because Russia is a meritocracy after all. And also, like, meritocracy in Russian universities? Are you serious right now? Like, literally since I was a small child, I've been aware that it's very possible to get to university or to a good school or whatever by having connections. And in Russian, this is called pablatu. We're essentially people that are either related to, you know, politicians or people who work in academia. The children of these people, etc., get very easy passes to the most prestigious spots and most expensive and prestigious universities. Definitely because they work the hardest, right? That is definitely why. Especially how, you know, like in Russia right now, you literally cannot be a popular musician and a popular artist if you do not support the special military operation and if you don't, like, obey the laws regarding LGBT propaganda and, you know, drug usage propaganda or whatever. Because if you don't, your concerts will be cancelled and you will be considered the foreign agents and you'll be literally kicked out of the country, which has happened to many super popular, super talented artists. I've already made a video about this as well, you should check it out. Yeah, that's definitely meritocracy, you know, the people that are, you know, on TV and in music and popular charts, these are definitely the people that are best at music. These are not people that are the best at, you know, showing their loyalty, right? No, that's definitely not the case. How can you say this with a straight face? How can you be this clueless? And here's the thing, I understand that might exist in America as well to a certain degree, and I understand there's also corruption in America. Like, I'm not saying America is a perfect country, because this is something I get called out for all the time, that I'm like saying Russia bad, West good. Every place has its problems, it's just that I think the problem is in Russia a little bit more present at the moment, you know what I mean?
Whereas in the US, it's just, there's so much tension, there's so much societal tension, racial tension, and it's honestly just depressing living in the US as a young person. And I think there's just more opportunity for young people in Russia than there are in the US.
Yeah, guys, there's a lot of tension in the US, and I can't disagree with that, yes. But in Russia, guys, yeah, there's none. There's no tension whatsoever. It's not like the entire country was... We literally almost had a military coup recently. Like, what are you talking about? There's no societal tension in Russia, dude. Like, literally, half the country hates the other fucking half of the country. People who are for the special military operation and people who are against it, they hate each other. And a lot of the times, these are people who are from the same family. Parents hate their kids because they're, you know, traitors. And the kids hate their parents because they think they're, you know, zombies and brainwashed. And there's literally people being mobilized. Yeah, there's definitely no tension or anything going on. Russia is a very, you know, tranquil country right now. Just a great place to chill out and just, forget about all your worries. I agree with that.
The United States presidents tend to change every 4 years, but in Russia the situation is a little bit different. Our president hasn't changed for more than 20 years. So does it affect your life maybe in some way?
It doesn't affect my life in any way. Whatever works for Russia, and I'm just here.
Well, what's going on? Is it working for Russia? I mean, alright.
Just living my life. I'm not really a political person. I don't pay attention to it often. I just...
Really? Are you? You were literally saying how Russia is like against the woke LGBT mob, culture virus or whatever, right? That is a political statement. You are political. You do keep up with politics. You're clearly passionate about this shit. But when you ask about what do you think about, Putin being in power for 20 years, you say, I'm actually not political, guys. I don't care about it too much, It's funny because like this guy is an American, but he's inherited the traits that Russians use in order to sort of not talk about, these dangerous topics. Amazing. This is a new level of MK Ultra or whatever, like a new psyop.
Focus on finances and making sure my family's taken care of. So as long as I'm getting what I need, then I have no issues.
Yes, because you're a foreigner who will not get drafted. You also have an American passport that allows you to go to pretty much any place in the world visa-free. And also you have a bank account in a country that is not sanctioned. All your cards work. Yes, it's pretty obvious why this does not affect you in any way, because you are completely disconnected from Russian people and what they actually have to go through.
My views on a president being elected every 4 years have actually changed, because when you live in the US and you have these massive swings between parties, and like one day you're living in like one country and the next day you're living in a completely different country, and it's honestly very destabilizing.
Yeah, I know you'd love 8 years of Trump in a row. I get it, bro, but like, fair enough, policies change, and yeah, you might be living in a different country. However, the truth about Russia, right, is that also every 4 years or so, you also are living in a different country. It's just that the person living in the country approaches a new level, essentially, and he decides to do something else. And first it was Georgia, then it was Crimea, which led to ruble crashing and sanctions and Russians getting way poorer. Then we have the special military operation, which led to many people leaving the country. And in the beginning of his presidency, Putin wanted to join NATO, right? So this is all one president still. Has it been very stable? I don't know. I don't really think so.
And it's very nerve-wracking, honestly, when you live in a country where every 4 years, like the political party is changing.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking to live in a country where every 4 years your currency crashes 2 times in its value. That's what's kind of nerve-wracking to me.
My opinion honestly has changed. Living in Russia, there's more stability here. I mean, believe it or not,
Stabilist. And now guys, for the final and the my favorite opinion yet from this gentleman right here.
Educational system in Russia is actually better than the educational system in the United States. In the past 20-25 years, the educational system, especially in universities, has completely changed. I think you cannot study international relations, for example, in the US without being completely indoctrinated with some sort of neo-Marxist, LGBTQ propaganda. You can't, it's like impossible to objectively study history without, studying history through the lens of like some sort of critical Marxist theory.
Okay, yeah. I see, yes, LGBT propaganda and Marxist, critical race theory, whatever, all these, like PragerU fans always bitch about. We get it. You don't like facts that hurt your feelings. And I do find it hilarious how this guy is talking about how in America you cannot study history objectively because it's like, there's this neo-Marxist, cultural Marxist propaganda, which is, by the way, a Nazi dog whistle that was actually created in Russia, the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. Good job spreading that message, my guy. But also it's funny because what he's describing is actually happening in Russia, where you can study history objectively now, because literally at schools they have propaganda for little children as young as like 6-7 years old, where they basically now have new school books in Russia where they teach history through a very Russian-centric stance. And instead a lot of countries do that, but Russia is talking about Nazis in Ukraine in school textbooks now and everything. So and also children are taught about the importance of the special military operation and how traditional values and all of this is like what we need and everything. So I do find it hilarious that this guy's talking about how like the West is brainwashing people through universities, when literally in Russia, little children are being indoctrinated from, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd grades. How, like, wow. Just wow, guys. I mean, this is just perfect. This is so good. I'm enjoying this.
You just cannot escape that in the US when you're in the university system. So that's what I really like about living in Russia, is that you can objectively study your subject in the university without being just inundated constantly and incessantly with this just propaganda all around you. So
yeah, so true, dude. Especially when in university we would like have teachers talk to us during class, before class, and basically tell us that the higher ups in the university told me to pass along this message to you guys that you guys shouldn't be taking part in any of these anti-governmental demonstrations going on, essentially under threat of basically being kicked out of the university. And this is actually already happening right now in Russia as well, when people get kicked out of universities for their political position, for being sort of, you know, oppositional activists and whatnot. So again, guys, meritocracy at its best, freedom and democracy. And stability, of course. That is what I love about Russia.
I think there's a certain point when you learn about history, learn about civil rights, the history of civil rights. I think that's good. But I think once you get to a certain point where it's like we have to punish white people and punish straight white males, it's beyond crazy at a certain point. And I think when I say this to Russian people, they think I'm insane. But that's the level to what it's gotten in the United States. It's all the time. You cannot escape this just propaganda in the US of this diversity and inclusion. You just can't escape it, and it's really sad, to be honest.
Boy, yeah, straight white males are so oppressed in America, it's crazy. Diversity and inclusion, that's bad, that's terrible, and it's really sad. It's really sad that they would spread those ideas of accepting other people. That's crazy, bro, I know, very, very sad. But yeah, guys, I pretty much showed you all the most interesting clips from this video. And guys, what did we learn from today's video, right? If you want to have a very stable life in a free democratic country, and if you do not want any propaganda in schools and universities, you should definitely move to Russia, because this American said so, who's clearly, you know, very aware of what is going on and definitely does not live in an absolute bubble. What can I say, man? Once again, really sad, and once again, I find it so ironic how Westerners who will never understand the hardships of like growing up in poverty or growing up in like a shithole area of Russia and the reality of what is currently happening. I find it ironic that these people have, you know, first world democratic country passports, and yet they simp for everything that is basically ruining our people's lives, and it is a little bit annoying. Anyways, guys, I guess that is going to be pretty much it for today's video, though. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did, then please make sure to slap the like on this video. And as well, guys, if you want to support me additionally, support me financially, you can go over to the link down in the description and become a YouTube member. It's basically YouTube's own version of Patreon. It's like a monthly donation to me, and that's the best way to support me. You can also do a super thanks in this video, which is basically when you donate, your comment gets highlighted. But anyways, guys, that is going to be pretty much it for today's video, though, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.